Today we're pleased to announce the integration of Stripe Checkout with Alpha Anywhere. I wanted to bring you through a quick overview of what we've done and show you an application that's using Stripe Checkout to process payments right through a mobile phone. In order to use Stripe, you're going to want to go to stripe.com. You can read all about their offerings there. They have a full JavaScript API that we'll be implementing. But today we're going to take a look at Stripe Checkout. And Stripe Checkout is essentially a component that's available to allow us to easily process credit card payments right through your mobile device or your website. So let's take a look at an application that I built. Here we're taking a look at my iPhone, and this is an application. It's a phone gap app that I built with Alpha Anywhere, and it's called Rocket Motors. So I've purchased $129.27 worth of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and buy that, and you'll see that test mode comes up. So when you set up your account with Stripe, you're going to get some test keys and you're going to get some live keys. So obviously for your testing, you're going to use the test keys that you get, and there'll be test credit cards and all of that. Now, since I haven't purchased anything from this site before, and I have not saved my email address, so it's going to prompt me for that. Now, if I have stored my email previously through any purchase at Stripe, through any site that uses it, it will go ahead, and in this case I have, it's going to send through a code, and ours is 358107. So if we enter in 358107, it will authorize this application to use the credit card information that I already have on file at Stripe in order to successfully make this purchase. Now I'm going to leave keep me logged in here, and this will keep me logged into this application with those credentials so that I could buy more stuff if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and pay that. Those credentials now get submitted. This is all done with tokens, so you never store any credit card information on your phone. It's totally secure. And in this case, we've processed the transaction, and this is the information, or some of the information, that's come back to us. So I'll just go ahead and clear that on out. Now let's just simulate a situation. So let's get rid of that app. Let's jump back in, and in this case I'm going to click on buy. So I closed the app out, I came back into the app, and because I have stored the payment information and said yeah, it's okay for this app to purchase, and I didn't log out, I can just go ahead and make another purchase. So it makes it really, really simple, as you can see. Now let's take a look within Alpha Anywhere and see how we expose this through Action JavaScript, how I built this component. So here we are within Alpha Anywhere, and this is our component. Let's take a quick look at it. Attached to the buy button here is the Action JavaScript that will call up Stripe Checkout. So let's take a look at that. So if we look at the click event, you'll see that we're calling Stripe process Stripe payment. And let's go in here and edit this action so we can see what's going on. We've indicated that we are the method for specifying the Stripe API keys is defined within project properties. So you have two options there. You can define them right here if you'd like. You can say you want to explicitly define them, or you can define them in one place within the project properties. So that's what I've done in this case. And the type of app, so what type of app do you want to build? In this case, it's a test application. We're going to use the test keys. You're going to use the test credit card information that Stripe gives us. When we're ready to go live, you're going to want to switch that to live. The account name, this is the account name that you would like to appear on the Stripe Checkout panel that comes up, and also the icon that you'd like to use. What type of currency you'd like. There's looks like hundreds of different types of currencies that are supported. You can check out Stripe's website for all the different supported currencies. Then the charge description and charge amount. These you can pull from controls if you want, or you can you can get the results of a JavaScript function, but we'll take a look at what I did. In this case, I'm just returning a string called online purchases, but it could be anything you want. We could be calling a JavaScript function, which is what we do here in the charge amount. So here we return the results of the function getAmount. We'll take a look at that in a sec. And on Stripe Checkout Complete, it is an event that fires. And in this case, we'd like to fire off a JavaScript function called Stripe Checkout Complete. And because we might want to post-process some information. In our case, what we do is we pass that information through to some of the controls within the panel card. So let's look at the JavaScript functions that we've got here. So the first one to take a look at is getAmount. And so here we're going to convert the value that the user enters, they're entering in a character string, and we need to convert that to numeric cents. So that's what is processed by Stripe. You don't want to submit a floating point number. You can run into rounding errors and so on. So that's what we're doing here with getAmount. And on the Stripe Checkout Complete, we're setting an object E and calling the new getStripeResults method of the dialog object. So when you add Stripe Checkout to a component, this method also gets added to the dialog object, and its job is to return the results that come back. And so you can look at the value of E in a debugger, and in this case, so I've got my debugger statement in my JavaScript, so we can launch this within Firebug and take a look at what comes back. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And in this case, I want to convert the amount to dollars and cents that come back. Remember, they're going to be cents that comes back. And we take a look at the e.result.amount for that information, and then we convert it. I'm also making sure that the Ajax spinner is hidden. And then I'm setting the value of numerous controls through a number of different properties that come back. And then I'm going to go ahead and refresh the client-side computations. I've got show hide statements that will now show a div when there's information available. I'm using a container for that. So let's go ahead and run this thing, and we'll run it within Firefox, because we want that debugger to fire up. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, let's get Firebug running. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is let's just click on Buy. And this takes a little while. Well, that was pretty quick, but sometimes it takes a little while. So let's go ahead and have all of that happen. And then we'll hit our debugger statement. So we've done that. And let's just look at this right here. So here's our E object. You can take a look at that, and e.result is where this is all the information that came back from Stripe. So you have full access to all of this. And we can see the paid is true, the status is paid. This is the amount that came back, the currency, and you can drill down and look at all the information that comes back here. And that's what we're examining within our JavaScript. So that's a quick overview of the new Stripe Checkout Action JavaScript. Hope you learned something. Thanks.